First of all, let me ask you, what do you picture when someone says high consciousness? Vivid inner experiences? Astral projections? Bliss that never fades? A state of deep flow? Cosmic clarity? Or wisdom that just arrives? What is it? The problem is that you can experience every single thing on that list. That means there is the experience and there is you. That experience is an object, but you are not the object. See, your phone has a screen. On that screen, you can run a simple app, a calculator, a timer. You can also run something more complex, a 3D game, a real time AI model. Now, which is higher, the simple app or the complex one? The complex one, obviously. But here is the thing, no matter how sophisticated the app is, it is still software running on a screen. The screen does not change, the screen does not care. The screen is just there, holding all of it. Bliss is a complex app. Astral states are a complex app. A profound philosophy about the nature of reality. That is also a complex app. All of it is still content. All of it is still running on the same screen. What most people call high consciousness is just highly organized mental softwares. More vivid, more refined, more intense. But it is not the screen. The screen was never the software. So if neither the bliss nor even your deepest spiritual realization is your highest consciousness, then what exactly are we talking about? Let's begin with chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, which opens with a line that is easy to skip over. Krishna says the body is called the Kshetra, the field, and the one who knows it is called the Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. Simple enough, but the implications are radical because Krishna does not stop at the body. He lists everything that belongs to the field, and the list includes your senses, your desires, your emotions, your preferences, your intellect, your sense of I. All of this framework is the field. It is the known, and therefore it is the object. Now, here is where it becomes psychologically precise. The mind has layers. One layer is the buddhi, the intellect. It is the part that sorts, compares, analyzes, understands. When you watch a video like this and something clicks, that's the buddhi working. Below, that's ahankara, literally translated as I maker. It's the part that takes everything the intellect processes and stamps it mine. I understood that. I had that realization. I am becoming more conscious. That stamp, that I, feels like proof that you are awake, that you are aware, that something real is happening. But the Gita's point is precise. The ahankara is also part of the field. The I that feels like it's waking up is itself an object, a very convincing object. A very convincing object, but still an object, which raises an obvious question that the mind immediately wants to escape. If even my sense of I is just an object in the field, then who is the knower? You can't think your way to that answer, and trying to actually keeps you from seeing it. The Upanishads had a method for this, and it starts by looking very carefully at something you do every single night without ever noticing what it proves. See, the Manduka Upanishad is one of the shortest texts in all of Indian philosophy. 12 verses, that is it. But those 12 verses map the entire structure of human consciousness, not as a theory, as a direct observation of your own experience. Here is the map. Right now, you're in Jagrita, the waking state. You're aware of the external world, sounds, light, the screen in front of you. Your mind is active. It is processing, comparing, following an argument. This feels like the most real state, the default. Everything else gets measured against this. But notice something. You are not in this state. You are aware of this state. Something is watching it. Keep that in the back of your mind. Then you come to the swapna state. You enter swapna, that dream state. And while you are in it, it feels completely real. Every high experience that people chase in spiritual practice lives here. Vivid inner visions, bliss that seems to come from nowhere, feelings of unity, cosmic insight. These are subtle experiences, internal, refined, but they are still experiences. They are still content appearing on a screen. The dream state is more interior than the waking state. It is not closer to the knower. Now, here is where it breaks open. Shushupti, deep, dreamless sleep. You have been there thousands of times. No thoughts, no images, no sense of self, no dreams, no world. Total absence. Void. And yet, every single morning you wake up and say the same thing. I slept so well. Think about what that sentence requires. You are reporting on a state of total absence. You're describing a period where there were no thoughts, no images, no you present. Yet, someone is reporting it. Someone witnessed the nothingness. Who was that? It was not your thinking mind. Your thinking mind was offline. It was not your intellect. Your intellect was gone too. It was not your ego. There was no I present in that state. And yet, something remained aware enough that when you woke up, you knew what had happened. Something was present during the absence. The Manduka Upanishad calls this Turiya, the fourth. And it is not a fourth state. That is the critical distinction. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. These are states that come and go. You move in and out of them. Turiya does not come and go. It is the background that all three states appear against. It is the constant. Think of it this way. A movie has scenes, day scenes, night scenes, interior scenes, exterior scenes. The scenes change, but the screen never changes. The screen is there during every single scene. It does not belong to one scene, does it? It is not in the movie at all. Turiya is that screen, not a good or a bad scene. The screen itself. And here is the mistake that the majority of people make. They try to reach Turiya. They meditate, they practice, they push towards a state they imagine is just slightly beyond their current one. But Turiya is not ahead of you. It is not deeper in. It is not waiting at the end of a spiritual practice. It is what you already are right now before you start looking. The problem is not that you haven't found it. The problem is you keep looking for it. And every time you look for it, you are treating it as an object. You're making it the scene. And Turiya, by its nature, is always the watcher. So now you have the map. Three states that come and go. One constant that never moves. But there is still a problem. Your mind right now is trying to understand this, to hold it as a concept, to feel like it has grasped something. And that feeling of grasping, that sense of I think I see it now, is exactly the mechanism that keeps the watcher hidden. The next chapter is about that mechanism specifically. It has a name, it has a structure, and once you see how it works, you will understand why no amount of thinking has ever gotten anyone closer to what they are actually looking for. We understand that it is going to get very interesting from now on, and we are going to be covering it in the next part. So if you want the next part to be out soon, comment Turiya.